Joe Scarborough and political commentator Charlie Sykes discussed a recent poll that predicted President Joe Biden would lose the 2024 election to Donald Trump by 9 points during the Monday, September 25, installment of Morning Joe. Sykes admitted the results appeared to be fuel for bedwetting, as it showed Trump winning despite his slew of legal woes and shocking comments, one of which hinted General Mark Milley had committed treasonous acts worthy of execution. Donald Trump mocked a disabled veteran and called for the execution of General Mark Milley, and has called for the complete shutdown of the government unless they defund the prosecutions against him. Sykes rattled off Trump's recent headline-making remarks. And, he's talking about using government power to retaliate and shut down NBC for criticizing him, he added. And yet we look at this poll and we're supposed to think that he's got a reasonable shot to win the presidency. Despite the poll's findings, Sykes called it an outlier, explaining that there is no way that Trump would win the youth vote. This is not to be taken seriously, but the warning signs are out there. And the ABC poll, I think, underlines, along with other polls, that this is going to be a tight race, he continued. It is going to be a close race, as have all of our presidential races in recent years. And it is going to come down to some swing states. But this notion that somehow there is no such thing as political gravity anymore is kind of fanciful, because Donald Trump is out there reminding Americans as loudly as possible that he is thoroughly dangerous and deranged, the commentator noted. And at some point, I think that is going to get a little bit of traction. Scarborough agreed that people just aren't focused, but that when reality does hit, there are going to be a lot of people asking a lot of questions about, do I really want to vote for a guy who's calling for the execution of this, all of the things you talked about? This comes after Trump accused General Milley of committing treason in a Friday, September 22, post on Truth Social. Mark Milley, who led perhaps the most embarrassing moment in American history with his grossly incompetent implementation of the withdrawal from Afghanistan, costing many lives, leaving behind hundreds of American citizens, and handing over billions of dollars of the finest military equipment ever made, will be leaving the military next week, he wrote. This will be a time for all citizens of the USA to celebrate. This guy turned out to be a woke train wreck who, if the fake news reporting is correct, was actually dealing with China to give them a heads up on the thinking of the President of the United States, he claimed. This is an act so egregious that, in times gone by, the punishment would have been death. Washington Post ABC News conducted the poll.